What's up, Ragin Fighting Championship fans? This is Tim Credeur, and I'm here with Grandmaster dan007betts.
Grandmaster.
Thanks for joining me. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
I actually watched your fight this morning on Island Fights 88. That was your first fight.
Yep.
Excellent performance, especially for a first fight.
Yep.
It seemed to me like you prefer the stand-up and you're more of a stand-up fighter, even though you finished
Right.
the choke with a modified guillotine ninja choke. I think maybe the other guy just didn't want to get hit anymore.
Yeah.
He was done.
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah, he was done. He was tapping anything.
Yeah.
You could have tickled him.
Exactly.
But it looked very polished for a first-time fighter. Definitely in the stand-up. The ground game, I don't want to disenfranchise your ground game, but there wasn't much of it.
Exactly.
I mean, you were probably in your guard for 6 seconds at the end of the first round.
Yep.
And he did some kind of stupid shot and you choked him, but the majority of the fight was standing up. What do you attribute that level of comfort and professionalism to in your first outing?
Well, of course, just my preparation, and really the fact that, like, in my free time, that's all I'm watching. Like, my YouTube is just full of one championship fights, UFC fights, Ragin fights, all of it. You know, so I just spend a lot of time watching it, and I prefer striking, but also have I have a love for the ground game, of course. But
we live that life too, Henry. How much fights do I watch?
Every day.
It's every day.
So that's me too.
It never stops.
But even with that being said, I definitely was a little bit critical of that performance, just because I could have done a lot more. I think, like, there was times that he was coming in where I could have easily found a counter, but I was just kind of playing it a little too safe and trying to look a little too good. So in my next fight, that's not going to be the case. I'm going to get stuck in a little more.
I think a lot of fighters, we're all overly critical, right? We're very critical of ourselves. Like, we're not looking for handouts. We're more looking for what could I have done better. So oftentimes, though, young guys don't see that. So I commend you. And are you from Baton Rouge?
I am. I was actually born in England, and I moved here when I was 6. So that's why I lost the accent. But my dad's from England, mom's from Baton Rouge.
Nice.
We ended up moving back here.
How long have you been training?
So I started boxing with Thomas when I was about 12 years old, and I did that for 2 years. Got into high school, messed around, did a bunch of nothing except, like, a bunch of bad stuff, basically.
Sure.
Got out of high school.
We've all done that, Daniel.
Right.
It was all of our lives.
Yeah, that was definitely me. But then got out of high school, didn't go to college, just working. I needed something to do, and basically got back into fighting. So ever since I was about 19, I've been back in it.
Cool. Your opponent is John Morrison. I watched a kickboxing match of his at Island Fights 84.
Yep.
He seems to be more of a striker as well.
Yep.
A little wild,
Yep.
but has some power.
Right.
What do you see in a fight with you and him?
I definitely don't see a performance. Not that it would be a bad performance, but not like my last fight, because that was a lot more, like, flashy. I know with him, I think I'm better technically, but I do think that the one thing he has, he looks like a tough fighter.
Yeah.
I've watched all his fights.
He looks durable.
He looks durable, right?
Yeah, he
so
can
I
take
mean,
some shots.
that's what I'm expecting, and so I'm expecting a long fight. Of course, I'm gonna try and get the finish, but definitely more of a stuck-in, like, firefight.
How do you reconcile the kind of animalistic warrior kind of attitude you have to have in practice and in fights,
Right.
with going home and being a normal person?
I'm very chill, and, like, outside the gym, like, I'm funny. Like, I'm not confrontational.
Sure.
But I guess when I'm in here, it's more just like a competitive, like, it just, it feels good to be competitive.
Sure.
This is the best sport in the world for a guy who likes competition.
I've had people ask me that question a lot, and I think what people don't understand is we all only have so much of that animal side in us.
Right.
And when we have a place like a gym to come to and release that valve,
Right.
it helps when we leave to be so much more peaceful.
Exactly.
Because I don't have any of that stuff in me.
Yeah.
Like, my wife sometimes asks, how could you like, how could pressure not bother you and you not be worried about anything? You don't have any anxiety. I'm like, whoa, I'm
getting beat up in the gym every
beat
day.
up all the time. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, what's the worst that could happen?
Nothing else really bad.
Exactly.
Nothing else ain't that bad when you get beat up.
Exactly. So
on
I
a
think
daily
for some
basis.
people, they see it like, well, you got to be so crazy when you're fighting. But the truth is, like, when I'm in the gym, I get to get all that out of me.
Yep.
And then after that, I can be the kindest, sweetest, most gentle person because all that, I guess to say, piss and vinegar is kind of gone. I
Right.
left it in the gym with my training partners who I could trust, who I'm not
Yep.
going to hurt, and who probably aren't going to hurt me. And I think that's a great way.
Probably.
It
That's-
does happen.
put
It
emphasis
does
on
happen.
probably.
It does happen. If you could share one unfiltered truth about the life of a fighter that people who watch fighting
Okay.
do not know or understand,
Okay.
what do you think it would be?
I mean, I think that it's just extremely hard. Like it sucks.
Every
It
fighter
sucks.
says the same thing.
It just-
it is so much harder than
Yeah.
you think it is.
It just like you're working out every day. I mean, I work out every morning in a regimen, and they help me a lot over there too. But it's just very like once you're in it and you love it. Like if you love it and you stay consistent with it, it gets a little easier, I think. But then also it's still like it's a struggle. Like
It's
every
a
day
lot
is
of suck.
struggle. Yeah, it's a lot of suck.
Yeah.
And you're getting beat up every day. I mean, you have a lot more bad days than good days.
And the
you know?
truth is, you get better at dealing with suck.
Exactly.
Which is the same as the military.
Yep.
You get better at dealing with the suck. And let's be honest, that is a key component of people being successful in life.
Yep.
The better you are at dealing with tough, difficult, hard circumstances, adversity, the suck.
Yep.
The better you are at dealing with that, handling that, enduring through that, the better you are at life.
100%.
So
completely
I agree. If you could go back and give your younger self some advice
Right.
about MMA based on what you know today, what would it be?
It would have been to keep boxing with Thomas when I started at 12. Not
quit.
Not F around in high school. I mean that's like my only regret. But then also I keep in mind that there's fighters who start even later than I did. Like
How old are you?
I'm 22 now.
22. You're
Yep.
you're fine.
Yeah, exactly.
You're fine. Yeah,
And I remember that. But so even then, I don't really have any regrets. But I know that if I was training every day and I stayed with it when I was younger, I mean,
Yeah.
who knows? But
I got the pleasure of watching you today spar with Nakia, Omar Johnson, Aiden McDaniel. You got a bunch of tough dudes in the room.
yep.
How does that feel as an athlete knowing that you're getting tough looks every day?
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, obviously, it sucks some days.
Oh yeah.
But does that give you any confidence knowing that in the gym you're getting your issue?
That is like a huge part of where I get my confidence is knowing who I train with. All those guys that you just named, there's other guys too. Like they are just really good. They put a beating on me, and I'm getting better every single day. And it's all because of them. So I'm super grateful for all the guys in the gym, for T-Web, because I feel every day I'm getting better, and it's all a big part is them, of course.
Yeah. I think there's a misconception in MMA that MMA is a individual sport.
Oh, no.
And it is because that's what the cameras record
Right.
and that's what the cameras see and that's what people think.
Yep.
But so many fighters walk to the ring with all their people because obviously as athletes, I feel like we stand on the shoulders of those who showed up for us every day.
Right.
That's how I got here.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm out there alone for sure, but I didn't get there alone.
Yeah,
Right.
and you're doing it for your team too. That's a big reason why. Even for my last fight, I thought about that a lot. I was thinking about trying to make my coach proud because I know how much work he puts in.
Sure.
Trying to make all my training partners proud because I know how often they see me in their training. So it's
Yeah.
I'm not trying to go in there and actually fight and all that training for nothing. I'm trying to prove to myself, to everyone who I train with, that doing this for a reason, training every day for a reason. That's what it's about for me.
Well, June 14th is coming fast. We got about a month. We got a ton of fans there. We're trying to put 3,000 people in there to watch
Yep.
you fight. our goal with our promotion is to build your career so that you can make your dreams come true.
Yep.
And the only way that happens is if we give you the stepping stones and the opportunities to build and to grow.
Yep.
So we appreciate you trusting us.
Yep.
We look forward to a great show. What do you have to say to the fans? What can they expect from Dan007betts? How are you going to make these two kids right here who have been watching fights since they were 2 years old, how are you going to make them go home saying, dude, Dan007betts is my favorite fighter?
Well, look, I'm going to put on a great performance. And again, like, that's another thing. Like, even after my island fights, I saw these two little kids, probably 10 years old, probably the same age as y'all. And they were like just like grinning. They were reaching out their hand. Best feeling in the world. So I want to repeat that. So for all the kids that are going to be out there, like, get ready for a good show. And thank you to Ragin Fighting Championship also. Very grateful to be fighting for them.
Well, we're excited to have you, man.
Yep.
Great to see you today.
Yes, sir.
We'll see you guys soon, all right?
Thank you,
Be
Tim.
safe.
Yes, sir.